British conscription. British Army may have no choice but to enlist citizens as country not ready for Russian threat, says former UK colonel. But here's my question. If the UK does go to war, where does that leave the civilians? Hello and welcome back to another episode of Focus. Like I said, Earth is amazing, but with stories like these, it does make you wonder. Stay tuned. I think you might like this episode. Welcome back once again. And depending on where you're catching us from, good morning, good afternoon, or good night. But for Britain, waking up this Monday morning might have some more repeats of a miserable rumor that was going on last week. Anyway, to your story. British Army may have no choice but to enlist citizens as country not ready for Russian threat, says former colonel. A former colonel in the British Army says the country may have to opt for conscription in the event of a conflict with Russia, and claimed the military's recruiting system has failed miserably. Britain may have no choice but to introduce conscription as the country remains absolutely not ready to defend Europe against the threat from Russia, a former colonel has said. Downing Street said service would remain voluntary after the outgoing head of the British Army, General Sir Patrick Sanders, said earlier this week the UK should train and equip a citizen army. But Britain's former top NATO commander, General Sir Richard Sheriff, told Sky News a day later that it could be time to think the unthinkable and look carefully at conscription. On Sunday, former British Army Colonel Tim Collins agreed that it shouldn't be ruled out. The recruiting system that the armed forces has failed miserably. Mr. Collins, who is a parliamentary candidate for the Ulster Unionist Party, told Sunday Morning with Trevor Phillips on Sky News, I think that what we have to do is to wake up and realize that Ukrainians are fighting for their liberty through the illegal invasion from Russia, and if they do not win that, we are next. We are not sufficiently supporting the Ukrainians towards the victory that is essential to us as well as them. And secondly, we're not making provision for the case where they would fail and they collapse. And we are next. And we need to be doing both of those things. He said he took a battalion as commanding officer that was 250 soldiers down, but still managed to recruit to full strength within 2 years. If you ask me, that's still a long time. He said it can be done, but current contracts have clearly failed. If they can't recruit, we'll have to go to conscription, he added. I'd prefer not to, but that's the only alternative. Armed Forces Minister James Heapy said on Thursday, talk of the UK introducing conscription if NATO goes to war with Russia is nonsense. Carlos Del Toro, the US Navy Secretary, has urged the UK to reassess the size of its armed forces given the threats that exist today. Downing Street defended the government's spending on defense, saying Britain has been Washington's partner of choice in its strikes against Houthi rebels in the Red Sea because of its military strength. But once again, my question in all of this is, if Britain does go to war, where does this leave the civilians? With Mr. What was his name? With Mr. Sir Patrick, or Mr. Sanders, running for Prime Minister in Northern Ireland, let's see if he takes into consideration what happens to the civilians. Or is he just going to say it's time for them to fight? Either way, like I always say, Earth is amazing. Not just the people, not just the places, but what we have done with it, what we can do with it, and what we have yet to do with it. But when you hear stories like these, it makes you wonder how bright the future may be. Once again, take care, have a great day, and if you're not having one, it's still time to make it happen. Let no one disturb your peace, your calm, your zen. You are who you are, you will be who you will be, and I say just let it be. Have a good day, and just let it be that, a good day. Take care, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Focus. Hey, thanks for sticking around for this thoughts and facts section of the show. But I suppose it's going to be less facts and more thoughts this time. I'm pretty sure General Sir Patrick Sanders is a well-decorated UK soldier or a veteran who has been serving in the military for X amount of years. But for the fact that who he is, what he does, and where he's been may cause problems to anyone, releasing any kind of information as far as I'm concerned about him is akin to doxing, and I refuse to do so. But anyway, the question is, where will that leave the civilians? Okay, let's say he does run for parliament, he does become minister or prime minister of Northern Ireland. What kind of role does that mean he will take? What kind of leader will he be? I did a quick search on whether or not Northern Ireland has any bunkers around. And, I don't want any bunkers around, but any public bunkers. And when I say public, I don't mean ones that you can purchase for your individual use. I mean those available to the wider general public in case of an actual nuclear war. Or even nuclear war, just a general bombardment. Where would people go to hide? Where would they be safe? Where could we take cover? So the question is, and the question was, and I found that there was a bunker called Ballymena, Northern Ireland bunker, which has no windows but offers unrestricted views of Armageddon, or so goes the sales page. I believe it has 235 beds and can accommodate that many people for X amount of time over a space of 4,300 square meters. Now, I also found another follow-up story about it where it was taken off the market in early 2022 for safety concerns or health concerns. But other than that, in my brief search, I found nothing else relative for Northern Ireland. I mean, yes, from what else I gathered, there's at least what they call 50 small monitoring stations dotted across the place, and whether or not they have any new infrastructure built is another story. But if he comes into power, will he opt in for conscription in Northern Ireland? Will the general population be okay with that? Will they vote yes? I mean, Northern Irelands are not known to be shy away from, I wouldn't say conflict, but they're not known to be soft, let's say that. But the point is, what would that mean for the civilians? Would he think of it in a sense that all he needs to do is prepare an army, prepare soldiers, prepare defenses? What about preparing safe places for the general public, the general civilians? Now, in my mind, there are many ways we could, I wouldn't say rectify this, but there are many quick term or quick solutions. but it all depends on whatever general infrastructure is already established in whatever country a conflict like this is likely to arise. Now, given the fact that the Ukrainian war or the Russian-Ukrainian conflict is on the verge of its 2-year anniversary, and Gaza and Israel, or the Palestinians and Israel, whichever way you want to phrase it, Hamas, it's all up for debate, and it causes too much conflict and too much issues. I'm not here for that. I'm here for what happens after, what happens then, what happens to the people. If Ukraine is anything to go by, a large portion of the general infrastructure, and I'm not talking about military, I'm talking about civilian, homes, water, electric, heating, all of this has fallen by the wayside, and a large portion of it has been destroyed. There were many times where the nuclear power station was under threat. Anyone in their right mind who would fire upon anyone in a nuclear power station, as far as I'm concerned, has no God-given sense if you know what the thing is. But that's just my personal opinion. Given the fact that conflicts like this are arising all over the world, are our governments, are our world leaders, NATO, Russia, China, whoever you want to say is the one that you're going to turn to, let's ask this question: what's going to happen to the people? What is going to happen to the civilians? You always hear all of this talk about bunkers here, there, and everywhere. Right now, there's many up for sale because they are past their sell-by date, their use-by date. Although, there's a man named Mr. Parrish, and I will say nothing more than that, who has kept one in pristine working order since the last World War, which was meant to accommodate at least 600 people. But what I took away from that story in particular was those 600 people were only meant to be government once again. So, stay tuned for the next couple of episodes. I might turn it into a mini-series, but I'm ask a couple of questions with the one general one already there, and you know it quite clear. Like I said, what happens to the people, the civilians? So we all know that we have private bunkers. We all know that they have many things. But what could we do? I mean, between the warning, the scramble, the blast, the remains, the fallout, what's going to happen to the people? Stay tuned. Don't mean to put a downer on your day, but you know what? Yeah, stay tuned for something a little more upbeat. Maybe not so much when you find the context. But have you heard about the Domino's heat suit? Sounds crazy, right? Stay tuned. Check it out. Either way, it's amazing. Like I said, Earth is amazing. Not just the people, not just the places, but what we can do with it, what we have done with it, and what we continue to do. I mean, it's mind-blowing, outstanding, fantastic. But once again, with stories like these, doesn't it make you want better for our children? If not our children, if not your children, wouldn't you think you'd like a world where your parents live peacefully, freely, without the threat of war? Most likely, Armageddon? I'm getting carried away. But either way, like I said, our history is pretty vast and we're making it pretty fast. And I always promise to keep it pretty brief, but in the grand scale of things, it's all a matter of perception. Thanks for tuning in once again to another episode of Focus. Like I said, have a great day, and if you're not having one, it's still time to make it happen. Don't let anyone ruin your day. Make sure it goes your way. Take care. For links to the articles, check out the episode description. If you want to leave a comment, check out the trailer description for the email address. For topics like these and more, check out future episodes. Like I said, the world is an amazing place. There's a lot going on, and sometimes we just need to take a moment to focus.